Oh, no doubt, Kalani will have his guys ready to go, but will BYU be ready to go and included in the brand new AP poll released just moments ago?
Just came out.
And the verdict is BYU is out, not ranked. However, they are the first team out of the poll in others receiving votes. Jarom, I believe they're ranked 26.
You're 26 in a 25-team poll. No. If you're out, you're not 26.
Interesting note in the rivalry dynamic, Utah right behind BYU in others receiving votes.
Hey, brother.
The Big 12 has 4 teams ranked, the highest being Arizona State at number 11, Kansas State at number 17, Iowa State 22nd, and at number 23, Texas Tech.
The billionaires.
Okay. Colorado also in the others receiving votes category.
Yeah.
But they're further down the list.
Way out.
What do you think about BYU being the first team out?
I'm surprised they're that high, honestly. Had Jake Retzloff returned, I thought BYU had a chance to be in the top 15 for just the second time in program history. The only other time BYU's been preseason top 15 was after winning the Natty. They were 10th, which is kind of a slap in the face. You win the Natty, you're 10th. But BYU doesn't have a great history of being in this preseason poll, Spence. They almost were. They've been in it 12 times. That's it. You think of all the great teams. They don't get kind of that preseason, we think you're going to be good, you deserve it in the top 25.
84, 96 last year, all started unranked and all finished with great final rankings.
It doesn't mean they won't finish in the top 25. They still could, right? Most recently, they started in the top 25 in 22. Before that was 2009. There's not a history, especially recently, of being in the preseason poll. So I am somewhat surprised, but you go 11-2, you bring back a ton of pieces, not the quarterback, but a lot of pieces. And people should feel good about your team, and obviously they do. Utah getting some respect there. Nice to see 4 Big 12 teams. Would have loved, 5 or 6 for sure, but it's nice to have a top 12 team in there. So Arizona State kind of starts as the pole position leader, as they should, as the defending champs, with a lot of returning starters. Here's what it looks like. Texas and Arch Manning, Drew Aller and Penn State at 2, Ohio State, national champs at 3. So this should be interesting. Got a lot of the blue bloods, a lot of big names. How about Illinois at 12?
Indiana at 20.
That kind of pops. SMU, BYU's, you could argue, best win at 16. You love, Kansas State, Iowa State, Farmageddon coming up in 13 days, 17 versus 22 in Dublin. So here we go. College football just a couple weeks out. I am surprised that BYU is as high as they are, the first team out. I think that's a good spot to start in.
It's beautiful because BYU is still not included, but they're not that far out. So they still get somewhat of a pole position that is favorable. You win one game over Portland State and a couple of teams ahead of you, you might be ranked in week 2. Certainly, I think if BYU starts 2-0, they handle Portland State and they handle Stanford. You're in the top 25 before you start Big 12 play and even before you go to East Carolina. You pointed out that BYU has been ranked in the preseason poll 12 times in the history of Cougar football. Only twice of those 12 times has BYU finished higher or better than their initial preseason ranking. How about that?
So they typically are, we come out of nowhere.
Yes. Yeah. So that's why even more that I love this, because BYU is, quote unquote, off the radar and have an opportunity to then go and show people what they are about. I don't know how much it really matters that BYU is one spot out.
It doesn't really
or
matter.
Compared to being like 24th or 25th. But there is this weird perception of, oh, you're ranked or you're not.
Well, yes. But in terms of where are you to start and where do you end up finishing, BYU has a little bit of stumble room. Should they start 5-0, they could lose and drop, but not drop out, right? Because what's the end game here? It's to get to the Big 12 title game.
Be good enough to be in position to go to Dallas and play for a championship in your conference.
And that's more about tiebreakers than it is pole position, to be honest. But as it pertains to the college football playoff, and is this the team that goes to the college football playoff? Certainly with the question at quarterback, it's a massive question mark for BYU. But if this team can get some of the takeaways and the clutch factor and the luck that they had last year, hey, they could be in the mix at the end. We'll see. But we have bigger questions to figure out, like who that quarterback is.
BYU ranked in the coaches poll, and I thought there would be a greater disparity between the coaches poll or the sports information directors poll.
Yeah, the coaches poll is hot garbage. Doesn't matter.
And the actual media poll, I expected like at least 10 spots of difference because I don't
3.
put a ton of credence, but not that much separation.
Yeah.
BYU 1 spot out. I think this is the perfect position for BYU, all things considered.
I think it's pretty good because I don't know that they deserve to be ranked, frankly.
With no starting quarterback returning?
I think they should be close or barely in.
We thought they were going to be a top 16 team with Jake Retzloff back at quarterback.
Absolutely. Is he worth 9 or 10 spots? Like, that's a pretty interesting thing. I would argue no. I like Jake. I like his experience. Statistically, not worth 9 or 10 spots. His experience, perhaps.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that they would sort of, in our eyes, drop. That's a precipitous drop.
Yeah, that kind of counteracts.
But would he actually have been, maybe they're 18th or 20th or something? I think BYU deserved to be top 16 coming in. I really do. Had Jake Retzloff in there.
I had them at 16 or 17 with Jake Retzloff as the returning quarterback.
16, second highest preseason rank ever, by the way. For BYU. 10 being the number 1 for me.
Sure. But is Jake Retzloff being gone worth that many spots? That kind of counteracts.
They'll break that down on Tulane Sports Nation.
I was with you. I thought, well, lose your starting quarterback. There are a ton of question marks. I just don't think BYU is going to show up. And they didn't, but they're only one spot out.
They were this close, which is pretty interesting.
So a lot of media voters still think BYU is worthy.
Which is
of
good.
A top 25 ranking.
They're recognizing the team because BYU wasn't reliant on Jake Retzloff to win all those games. They were a team. Jake was part of that team.
Very much a complete team, which is why last season was special.
And that's where the quarterback, whoever it is, needs to plug in and understand that. It's not on me to win all these games. It's on our team. LJ Martin's going to help. Andrew Gentry's going to help. Jack Kelly's going to help. Will Farron's going to help. It's everybody. This is a team again. We don't rely on, like Texas, they have a good team too, but they're going, hey, Arch is going to take us to, you have a figurehead there. BYU's figurehead is Kalani Sitake. That's the figurehead.
Our question of the day is what we just answered. What is your reaction to BYU being listed as the first team out in the preseason AP Top 25 poll? Answer using the hashtag BYUSN. Respond to our BYU Sports Nation accounts. Tell us what you think about the Cougars being the first team out. Is that enough to have the old chip on the shoulder?
The old
those guys.
I explained, by the way.
We're not ranked.
I explained last week the origin of that. It was a game, literal piece of wood, and your balance.
Yes.
Not a Dorito. Come on.
Hey, let's get to a quick response from Art Director BYU. Oh, you know what? He's answering a different question. Okay, we'll have responses for you later in the show. Yeah. But again, what is your reaction to BYU being the first team out in the preseason AP Top 25 poll?
Is it the perfect spot? They're out, but they're right there?
I think that's why I literally said that. It's the perfect position in my opinion.
I wouldn't have minded. In fact, I would have liked it if they were in the top 25. I just didn't think without Jake they'd probably be in it. That doesn't mean I wouldn't enjoy being ranked out of the gate.
Let them start 2-0, be ranked, have a bye week, see what happens there.
Why are you saying 3-0?
Then I'm just saying like to get ranked. I think
to get ranked.
Two games to get ranked.
But give me that third one.
No, give them 2 games to get ranked. Then you're on a bye week, and maybe there's some more craziness that happens, and you jump up and you're number 21 when you're going to East Carolina.
I believe BYU will start 5-0. I do.
You think they're going to win their Big 12 opener at Colorado
and beat West Virginia at home on the Friday before conference?
Okay, the first weekend in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
5-0.
I believe BYU will be 5-0. If they're 4-1, that's pretty good.
I just hope, I hope BYU can go 5-1 in the first 6. That to me still gives them a shot to play in the Big 12 championship game. You do anything worse than that?
Yeah,
probably in big trouble.
That back end of the schedule,
that's tough.
It's tough.
That is tough.
There's some losses in there. It's just how many.
Back to the AP poll, which is all of 49 minutes old. BYU 1 spot out. Number 26.
They're number 26, Spence.
They're number 26 in the top 25.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Some other talking points. The SEC continues to get the nod nationwide from media voters.
You want to crown them? Then crown them.
10 teams. 10 SEC teams.
SEC, but you know who's never been ranked in the AP poll ever preseason?
Vanderbilt?
Yeah. Very nice.
Is that the team?
Vanderbilt's never been ranked in preseason. So if you ever feel bad about BYU football, just think about Vanderbilt. Great baseball, though. Diego Pavia's like, what's up with that?
Who's the most overrated SEC team? Hard not to point to Texas A&M at number 19. We'll see what A&M is this year.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. A&M at 19.
Big Ten was 6 teams in the preseason top 25. The Big 12 with 4, but again, BYU and Utah are the first 2 teams out. So that close to.
So 6 of the top 27.
That's right. The Big 12 almost on par with the Big Ten in terms of teams in the top 25. Yeah. The ACC.
They got 3.
3 teams.
Well,
Clemson at number 4.
But 2 in the top 10. I mean, that's worth more, right?
Yes, Miami at 10 and SMU at 6.
The ACC. It's just worth more.
Only one non-Power 4 team in the entire poll, and it is Boise State. And it
is
the last spot.
Yeah.
No less.
How about Boise State at 25, BYU 26, if you will, Utah 27. That mountain time zone.
Yep.
Repping them mountains.
Interesting only one. I thought there'd be at least one more non-P4 team. But it's, I guess, because the Power 4 conferences are so big and there's.
Well, they've all been gobbled up into the other leagues.
Yeah.
It's just tough. It's kind of Boise State on an island now.
Notre Dame, number 6, after making an appearance in the national championship game last year.
Yeah. Interesting. So BYU's highest ranked opponent is Iowa State, right?
Yes.
At 22?
Yep. Because BYU doesn't play Arizona State.
Winnable.
Number 11. They don't play Kansas State, who is number 17, but they do play Iowa State and Texas Tech, who are 22nd, 23rd, respectively.
Teams in the preseason.
Will BYU be ranked when they play those teams?
Stanford did not make it in the preseason.
If BYU starts 5-0, which you presented, you believe that they're going to start 5-0?
I believe they very well could. I won't be shocked if they're 4-1.
Jarom, they're one.
Don't be 3-2.
They are one spot out right now, and they start 5-0 and have a bye week in there as well early in the season. They will be maybe number 13 or number 14.
Could climb that high depending on the shuffleage.
11,
which is a new word.
They're close enough to the top 25, literally one spot out.
Yep.
But if you win 5 straight games and have a bye week, that's 6 weeks of carnage above you of teams losing. If you're still perfect and the voters are still thinking about, oh yeah, BYU is good again. They were good last year. They're going to be treated favorably.
Because, yes, you're building.
Momentum.
Yes.
Yes, you're back again.
Yes.
Now, I think they'll be a top 14 team.
And then that final 7's the real gauntlet for BYU. You got some real tough stretches there.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Beginning with Utah and then at Iowa State, bye week at Texas Tech.
And I don't want to ignore what, Aaron said a minute ago to you. We'll break it down tomorrow more. There was a lot of juice.
Oh, man.
We learned some stuff, which is the point of the interviews. So nice work.
Again, listen to how he talks about all 3 quarterbacks. You tell me.
I thought that revealed
the starter's going to be.
That 2 of the 3 are ahead of one of them. We'll talk about it more tomorrow.